Hi everyone, this is Dr. C, and this is the Home Ribbon Part 2 in Microsoft Word, Editing a Letter. Here's our letter, and I've enlarged it so you can see it. Last time we changed the font, we changed the style, we bolded, and we also justified it. We have it centered at the top, right justified for the date, and left justified for the address, for our sender, our recipient. So now, what if we wanted to create styles for this, okay? So now we're looking at the right-hand side of the menu, and you see right now I have no style, no spacing selected, right? If I hover over these styles, look what happens to my content. It starts changing like all of those styles, but I don't like them. So if I like this style, I've set it up, maybe I want to save it. So I'm going to right-click here. Notice I'm right-clicking on my selection. I'm going to Styles, and I'm going to select a Save Selection as a New Quick Style, okay? So it was a right-click, Save Selection as a New Quick Style, and now I'm going to name it, and I'm going to call this Letterhead. I'll just call it Letterhead for now, okay? And then I'm going to save the other style too, my normal one over here. I'll select that, right-click, select Styles, that drop-down arrow there, and I'm going to come down to Save Selection as a New Quick Style, and I'm going to call this one Letter. I'll just call it Letter, okay? Now, you notice I have letterhead and letter up here at the top. So if I change my mind about this style, notice what happens, right? I could set it back to plain, or I can have it back in the center as the top of the letterhead, okay? So if I write a new letter, I can easily format it too, right? So what would happen, let's say I grabbed all of this content and I made it no spacing and plain, see there? And let's say I made this normal or no spacing and plain. All right. To get back to my style, I highlight my letterhead and I click on letterhead, right? For here, I could click on letter, and then I'd click on the right justify to put the date over to the right. For the rest of this, I could select the rest of my letter. Well, actually, I'm going to drop my cursor right before the M in my, scroll down, hold down the Shift key on my keyboard, and left-click after the 0. So I've selected all of the letter except for my letterhead and my date, and I'm going to select letter format, and it's left justified, so that's fine, and that looks good. Now I could look at other styles way over here on the right, or I could use the drop down arrow to look at all the styles I've saved, but I like this one, so I'm going to leave it as it is. But if I wanted to change something, like let's say I didn't like the calligraphy and I wanted to change the font or bold it or something, I would right click on my style and I would say modify. And then I could come in and change this stuff up here, the font, the size, and the style, or I could come down to format and change how the paragraph looks. What if I needed double spacing or 1.5 spacing, or I needed to change the language? There's a lot of things you can do on the home ribbon. Well, last but not least, let's look at the far right side, and we have change styles, and you'll notice there's a lot of different styles in here. You can go to different fonts very quickly. So if you needed a particular style, check that out. And lastly, the find command is over here on the left, but you can also bring up a box for it. It's looking up Fido right now because I typed Fido. But if I instead had typed in best, you'll notice it goes to best. And if I looked for some other content, like let's say I looked for dog, okay? It's going to highlight every version of dog, and I can click through to pull them all up and take a look at them. The replace command allows me to change it. It has this pop-up, and what if all of a sudden Fido became a cat, right? All of a sudden I could do replace all, and notice I have 2 replacements, and now I have cats. If I change my mind, and let's face it, Fido's a dog, right? I can always come up here to the undo and click there, and boom, I'm back to dogs. Well, this has been Dr. C with a quick look at the home ribbon part 2 and some of the cool things you can do with styles. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time on the next video.